Hello friends, today's video is about a famous scientist John Dalton. John Dalton was a British scientist most famous for his contribution to the atomic theory which laid the foundation of modern chemistry. John Dalton was born on 6th of September 1766 at Eaglesfield in England. His grandfather was a shoemaker while his father Joseph Dalton was a weaver. His father was a Quaker. Dalton were 6 siblings but only 3 were able to survive till adulthood. John Dalton was the youngest among them. John Dalton received his early education at John Fletcher's Quaker Grammar School in Eaglesfield. In 1778, John Fletcher retired and passed over his school to Jonathan Dalton. John started to assist his elder brother by teaching at the school. He was 12 years old then. At the age of 15, John Dalton and his brother started running a Quaker school in Kendal. There they taught around 60 students. When he was 19, he became principal of school and continued his role till he was 26. In 1793, at the age of 27, Dalton moved to Manchester where he was appointed teacher of mathematics and natural philosophy at the new college, a dissenting academy. He remained there till he was 34, at which point he resigned from the post due to financial difficulties faced by the academy. Dalton then supported himself by giving private lessons. Dalton's family was not well off, due to which he had to earn his living from an early age. Also being a dissenter of the church, his educational opportunities were restricted. Two men who contributed in Dalton's education were Elihu Robinson, a rich Quaker gentleman of scientific attainment whom Dalton met when he was 10, and John Gough, a blind English philosopher with wide-ranging scientific interest whom Dalton met when he was 16. Through informal instructions from these two, Dalton acquired much of his early scientific and mathematical knowledge and the rudiments of Latin, French, and Greek. Robinson and Gough were amateur meteorologists, and they got John Dalton interested in the problems of meteorology, the scientific study of atmosphere. In 1787, Dalton began to keep a meteorological diary in which during the next 57 years he entered more than 2 lakh observations. In 1793, at the age of 27, Dalton's meteorological observations and essays became his first published work. Though it generated little attention, it contained remarkable observations and original ideas. On 3rd of October 1794, at the age of 28, Dalton was elected a member of the Manchester Literary and Philosophical Society. Membership of the organization granted Dalton access to a laboratory for the first time. Soon after joining the organization, he contributed his first paper on extraordinary facts relating to the vision of colors, which described the defects he had discovered in his own and his brother's vision. Though inaccurate in most aspects, this paper was his first publication on color blindness, which is sometimes referred to as Daltonism. Against popular perception at the time, John Dalton upheld the view that Earth's atmosphere was a physical mixture of around 80% nitrogen and 20% oxygen. In 1801, he came up with a useful law of evaporation, and in 1803, his famous law of partial pressure was published, which enhanced his reputation and is still used by chemistry students. Dalton's work in meteorology was widely discussed and established the subject as an important science. John Daniell, who is famous for inventing the Daniell cell, hailed John Dalton as the father of meteorology. Ancient Greek philosopher Democritus had postulated an abstract theory by which everything was composed of atoms which were indivisible. The idea, which had been proposed more than 2000 years earlier, had fallen out of favor in the scientific community. Dalton used the term atom for his atomic theory, which he developed after performing numerous experiments. Among other things, his theory postulated that every form of matter was made of small indivisible particles called atoms, and they combined, separated, or rearranged during chemical reactions to form compounds. Dalton's atomic theory laid the foundation for modern chemistry, and parts of it hold good even today. Dalton served as president of the Manchester Literary and Philosophical Society from 1817 till his death. In 1810 he was offered but declined the fellowship of Royal Society of London. However, in 1822 he was elected without his knowledge and accepted the invitation. In 1826, Dalton was awarded the Society's Royal Medal for his atomic theory. In 1830, he was elected one of the only 8 foreign members of the French Academy of Sciences. Leading English sculptor of the time, Francis Chantry, crafted a large statue of Dalton, which was erected while Dalton was still alive, and it has been said he is probably the only scientist who got a statue in his lifetime. Dalton did not marry and had no children. He had only a few close friends and remained a faithful Quaker all his life, living modestly. John Dalton died on 27th of July 1844 in Manchester at the age of 77. He was given a civic funeral by the city of Manchester in honor of his contributions to science. Such was the reputation he had acquired that 40,000 people attended the procession.